There's a passage we're going to look at this Sunday at Mustard Seed. It's in Luke chapter 4, Luke chapter 4, 1 to 13. It also appears in Matthew chapter 4, and there's a nod to it in Mark's Gospel as well. And it's the passage where Jesus is led out into the wilderness, where he fasts for 40 days and then is tempted by the devil. Now, if you know anything about fasting, 40 days is a very long fast. It's not something that would be easy to do or that comfortable either. And it seems like Jesus would be in quite a vulnerable position after fasting for 40 days, and the devil comes to take advantage of that vulnerability. It's interesting, the three areas that are targeted in this passage. The first one, of course, is food, bodily needs. Jesus had been fasting for 40 days, and the devil says to him, if you're the Son of God, then you should be able to make these stones into bread. And Jesus doesn't take issue with whether he could or he couldn't. We don't even hear about that. He just says, it's not about my survival, it's about life. So man doesn't live by bread alone. Maybe we survive by it, but we don't live by it. And he draws a distinction there. As he goes on, of course, there's going up to the high mountain and seeing all the kingdoms of the world, and the devil says, bow down and worship me and I'll give you all this power because it belongs to me. Because of course the kingdoms of the world do operate according to the power of the devil, in the sense that it's coercive power. We don't have kingdoms in our world that operate on the basis of merely free association and everybody doing good to one another. We have laws and police forces and armies and magistrates and forces of coercion, because we need that to keep things under control, it would seem. This is the way that is the way of the world, the way that Satan functions in, the way of coercive power, the way of not being able to do what your heart desires, because your heart doesn't always desire what's good for everybody, and so you've got to have your head pulled in by someone else. And Jesus says no, worship God alone, because that's the way of heart transformation, of desire change, and moving in a direction where we are self-governed and liberated to do the things we desire, because we desire to do good things. And the final temptation, of course, is the one where he goes up to the top of the high temple, and Satan says, if you're the Son of God, throw yourself off. The scriptures say that you'll be protected, none of your bones will be broken, that kind of thing. And it's almost this thing where Satan is, or the devil is saying, make God your servant. Make him do what you've decided he should do. And Jesus says, no, don't put God to the test. It's not up to me to tell God what to do and not do. It's not all about my agenda. God is God. And these temptations are critical moments in the very beginning of Jesus' public ministry, because it kind of puts before Jesus, and the story puts before us, the fact that there was this opportunity for it to go in a different direction. Jesus could have been a teacher and a preacher and a religious leader like any other preacher, teacher, religious leader that had come before him. That would have been quite easy to do. There's plenty of examples for him to follow. All the power structures of the world were there for him to participate in. He was pretty cluey. He could have done it. Could have done it well, I reckon. But he makes a decision not to, and in that way distinguishes himself as different from all others, and indicates that he's doing it a whole new way and isn't tempted. So we're going to talk about that this Sunday at Mustard Seed, and I invite you to join in that conversation. Come along to the chapel at the Quarry Green. such a beautiful place to be. Down here is beautiful, but the chapel at Quarry Green also very beautiful, and to be together with our friends in that space, it's just really nice. But you can join us on Zoom. Love you to do that as well, and you can pick up the service on our Facebook live feed on our Facebook page, Mustard Seed Sydney, and then the sermons end up on our YouTube channel as well. There is also a podcast, but I'm so behind in putting those talks up that by the time you hear them on there, you'll have forgotten that you heard them the first time. That might be a good thing, eh? This week we have the Pancake Palooza on Shrove Tuesday, so that's Tuesday this week. I believe it's going to be 6:30 for 7 o'clock. And then on Ash Wednesday, Rev Robin Davies is going to lead us in a meditation on Ash Wednesday, and you can be anointed with oil and have the sign of the cross put on your forehead in ash, and that's the beginning of Lent. Help you focus on preparing for Jesus and his journey to the cross. Come along if you can. It's a strange time. We're emerging from COVID, and some people are loving that and others are a bit worried about it, and I don't know, it just feels like we're still in a bit of a halfway house place with all of that. But wherever you are and however you're coping, know that you're not alone. Know that God is with you, and there's opportunity to meet with people either through the interwebs or in person, and be supported. It's best not to be isolated at this time. So, God bless. Hope to see you at church, ours or someone else's. Stay faithful.